everything. You can imagine everything. Private jets, Miami, hundreds of thousands in one weekend, 2 tour buses, Atlanta. Like, cannot front on how I had my boys moving. And I'm only talking about this because you was there.
Oh, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 saying you out or something, yo.
Jim Jones just flat out lost it. Full meltdown mode, live and unfiltered, right there on Memphis Bleek's podcast. And the craziest part? Bleek don't even rock with Tony Yayo like that. So how did this blow up so fast? Things went from chill to chaos in seconds. Let's spin it back for a second. Memphis Bleek has been Jay-Z's day one soldier. His little bro, loyal to the bone. But Yayo? He's been sneak dissing Hav for years. He once claimed Jay tried blocking 50 Cent from that iconic Super Bowl halftime stage. And apparently, he's been holding that grudge tighter than a vault ever since. Then came the Shannon Sharpe interview. Yayo turned the heat all the way up. He called Jay-Z a straight-up hater, saying he never lifts his people up or helps anyone rise. But the real jab? Oh, that one went straight at Bleek.
It's between me and other niggas, right? Stack Bundles, one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Rest in peace,
Stack
Bundles.
Ryan
Squad. Rest in peace.
Far Rock,
Yep.
you understand? Jim Jones, he had Stack Bundles, he had Max B. I looked at it like, great. You know, Stack's Bundles had a portion was still in the hood. No disrespect to Jim Jones. Fifth had me in Battery Park. I could walk out that barefoot.
Get the socks.
See, that's when a nigga love you, nigga. Get the socks, nigga. Sneakers Dior, nigga. But I'm walking out there barefoot. That's when you know a nigga love you, boy. Because he making sure you don't get your shit split. Because you go back to 134, anywhere, Baisley, right, Brooklyn, pew, shit get split. Once I got shit, nigga shot my shit up. Bentleys and all that.
Yayo said, look at Memphis Bleek. He not shining. Jay-Z don't take care of him. 50 takes care of me.
Y'all can get that sneaker? Just toss that over there. My shit's official. You know what I'm saying? Yo, look, but nigga put me in position. Rest in peace of Stack, but Stack got killed in the project with a Porsche.
Yeah.
Nigga, come on, nigga. I'm from the hood, nigga. Y'all niggas thought, nigga. I done been around the Black Justice and seen the Preems and all that, nigga. The E-Money bags, all that, nigga. The younger niggas under that.
That line hit like a grenade and the internet exploded. Like, seriously? We out here comparing who's got the better sugar daddy now? That's insane. Ain't nobody supposed to be bragging about living off another man's check. Because once that check stops, so does the lifestyle. Simple as that.
So with everything you
Maserati Fox. Real
saw,
nigga, huh?
with everything that you saw, what would you change?
I just pray to God every time I leave the house.
But what would you change?
Change what?
Pass a cup. I heard you talk about all the shit you went through, all the shit niggas is still going through.
What
Yeah,
God,
you need one of them cups
listen,
just for
what
the
God
ashtray.
got planned for you is planned for you, brother. God already knows what's planned for you in life.
God planned for you to come here and spaz on y'all niggas tonight.
I spaz?
I'm just saying, it was a plan.
I mean, I do be on some Hollywood shit. Europe. I gotta stop. Something like, yo, stop talking about Europe. I don't, like, when you come here, you gotta deal
Don't
with
treat
niggas.
Vlad like that, bro. See how niggas is? See how
No, I
niggas
had
is,
nothing
bro?
with Vlad.
He ain't treat Vlad
Do
like
with Europe.
this. He ain't
I
treat
do
Vlad
things
like
Loyalty don't mean who feeds you, it means who shows you how to eat on your own. And let's be real, Yayo tried to twist it like Jay's the selfish one, but come on. It sounded less like a truth bomb and more like pure salt from someone mad he's not sitting at the big table anymore. The energy was loud, desperate, and dripping with envy. Tony Yayo really sat there bragging like being on 50 Cent's payroll was some kind of life achievement. Like that's a flex? Nah, that's not street code. That's straight crash dummy behavior. Real men build with their people, they don't boast about getting fed like they're at an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's not loyalty, that's dependency dressed up in designer clothes. So when Memphis Bleek hit Drink Champs, he wasn't letting that slick talk slide. Not even a little bit. Nah, Bleek came through calm but calculated, the kind of quiet that cuts deeper than yelling ever could. He said there was never any serious beef between him and Yayo before. Yeah, they crossed paths, maybe did some light work together. But once that disrespect came flying, the vibe shifted hard. You could feel the tension, like the room got colder the moment Yayo's name dropped. It ain't full-blown war, but Bleek's definitely not keeping it friendly either. You can hear it in his tone, measured words with daggers behind him. He basically said, man, forget Tony Yayo, without even needing to say those exact words. That shade was heavy. But here's where things really start to sizzle. Tony Yayo's always been loud with it. The kind of dude who calls out rappers for not taking care of their people. And now that same wild energy just sparked a brand new fire, this time aimed dead center at Jim Jones. We're talking G-Unit versus Dipset all over again. 50 Cent, Cam'ron, Jim Jones. The chaos that had hip-hop lit years ago just clawed its way back from the grave. But this time, it's personal. Yayo rolled up on Math Hoffa's podcast and dropped a verbal nuke. Things got disrespectful real fast. No sugarcoating, no filters. Tony Yayo went straight for the jugular. He flat out claimed that Jim Jones left Stack Bundles in the streets to die.
A lot of, we from the hood, so people look at Bleek and don't understand the business he's doing, and they always look at Jay like, oh, yeah.
But that's why you got like Yayo talking about, Jay don't take care of. I don't need Jay to go on tour.
Yo, smoke hard coke,
Yo, chill.
You look like you need to be taken care of. Nigga. You look like you need to go to the dentist. You need to look like you need to brush your teeth. You look like you need hygiene. Nigga. You look like you need help. Tell your man 50 send you an ounce or something, yo.
You do need
You
that
might
help.
need
That's
2
why-
ounces, nigga.
That's why
Paid
you
in full
looking to
movie.
see.
Nigga. I got a G for every bump in your face, nigga. I promise you that, nigga.
That's
I
a
promise
fact.
you that, nigga.
That's why he worrying about
Peon, you broke, nigga. You know
See?
I got it, nigga. What's
Don't-
up? The
Ain't
bag
nobody-
is up.
That's the bomb he dropped. And the moment those words hit, the whole internet stopped breathing. The streets tuned in instantly. Yayo didn't dance around it either. He said Jim didn't move right, didn't protect Stack, didn't pull him out the trenches when he had the power to do it. And according to Yayo, that lack of action played a real part in Stack's tragic ending. That's not light drama. That's a heavy accusation that cuts deep. Now, if you don't know who Stack Bundles was, let's set the scene.
The bolsa.
Hey, yo.
Hey, Flea, where the bolsa at, Flea?
Let me finish that off. Ain't nobody taking care of over here, B.
Pardon me.
Nah, you good, my nigga. I fucking love it. They deserve it. They need to hear this shit, man, because they bugging out here. All these niggas worrying about who taking care of who. We take care of we. Ain't no
100%,
who
nigga.
take care of who, nigga. You know who doing it. We live.
Us,
We getting
the
money.
gangway, nigga. We take
You
care
feel
of
me?
everybody, nigga. We take care of each other, nigga.
That's a
heard?
fact, my G. But linking back up with you, Jim, we missed out on a
Nah,
lot
this
of
is dope.
opportunity, bro. But we ain't gonna miss it out going forward.
Nah,
we need to
man.
put some pain together. bro.
Stack wasn't just another rapper. He was family to Jim Jones. Signed under him, toured with him, and stood beside him through the grind. Stack had the city buzzing. His energy was electric, his flow was ahead of its time. But when the fame started to fade and things turned dark, Stack was still stuck in the hood. And that's where his life got taken way too soon. For years, whispers have followed Jim, saying he didn't do enough to pull Stack out when he had the chance. And the most savage rumor? Some people swear Jim didn't just take Stack's shine. He took his whole style, his slang, his drip, even his aura. But don't get it twisted. Stack Bundles was different. He wasn't no ordinary rapper from the block. He had that star presence. Real talk, futuristic vision, designer swag before it was even mainstream. If he were still here, he'd be sitting front row at Paris Fashion Week next to ASAP Rocky, no doubt about it. The man was that ahead of his time. And yet the whispers keep echoing. Jim Jones ran off with Stack's whole wave but left the man behind. That's a brutal picture to paint, and even harsher to defend. And that's exactly what made Yayo's claim hit even deeper. It touched something real for Jim. Because according to Jim Jones, that whole story Yayo's pushing is pure cap. Jim swears up and down that he gave Stack Bundles everything: money, shows, travel, every opportunity to leave the hood behind and build something bigger. But according to Jim, Stack just wouldn't walk away. He said the streets had their grip on Stack too tight. Like no matter how far he reached, the block kept pulling him back in. And that's where Jim's pain comes from. He says it's not about guilt, it's about heartbreak. The hurt of trying to save someone who didn't want to save themselves. Jim stands on it with his chest out. I never left Stack behind.
Came back off tour,
Yeah.
with Fifth, and we still touring. Still. And I do my own tours too for people. Yo,
You see, hey,
I
he be
do
glazing
my
50.
own tours. I did tours in Canada. I did a tour across the whole Germany and the Swiss Alps. And that's why I don't care about the hate. Cause I'm like, I got the possibility to do my own tour. Like, something with Memphis Bleek. Memphis Bleek said to, Nori, Yayo said, Jay-Z didn't have us on tour like he did, or I eat my own halal. I eat my own halal too, if you want to say that. To Memphis Bleek, I just came off my last tour. All I'm saying is when you see Jay-Z in his setting, he never really, when he's doing a Beyonce show or whatever, you don't see Memphis Bleek on the stage and him being brought out.
You could feel it when he talked about it in that old interview. It wasn't some staged PR moment. Nah, that was raw emotion. You could see the pain in his eyes, his voice cracking, his hands twitching like he was ready to snap on anybody who dared bring up Stack's name.
You know, even if I'm doing the hype man shit with 50, he's bringing me out. I'm making money. I'm going to
That's that man girl too.
That's it. That's whole wife tour.
Yeah, that's whole wife tour.
So I believe if Hov was out on his own, he would bring Bleek out. There is no need for him to bring Bleek in a situation where I look like if this was last tour you're talking about with the Cowboy Carter.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, because I look at Bleek as a loyal guy, like I'm a loyal guy to Jay. But I look at like Fifth, my guy Hervé, one day we had TRL. And it's the young Gunners there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him out. And Hervé says loud, "You don't gotta worry about nothing. You got 50. Jay-Z doesn't do nothing for these guys like 50 does." And Hervé, I think he worked with them too. But he said that to me, and that always stuck in my head.
Those weren't talking points. Those were scars, real ones that still bleed when touched. And the wild part?
Problem is, when she was on the show, she had said that she had heard about you wasn't giving Stack money, but people don't know that when Stack asked you for the bread, you were going to the bank. I think the bank was closed. Something happened because me and Bino talked about it. I remember being there, and you was going to give him
more money after the money he spent because we was on tour. He like, geez, I spent all that tour money, geez, on Pop, I bug it. Whatever he did, brought another Porsche, BMW. He like, yo, Pop, geez, you said a closed mouth don't get fed, geez, I'm Pop, geez, I'm hurting.
It's a fact.
And when I told him, I said, yo, go get 25 grand from the bank tomorrow. He like, oh, yo, what's up with that Wrangler truck? I'm like, I left that shit in Brooklyn. I don't even want that shit. I don't even know what block it's on. Matter of fact, it's by the car shop where I got the Maserati from. He like, you let me get that, geez. I'm like, go take it. You probably got to get a new key. He like, oh, I'm going to go get that tomorrow, geez. You different, geez. And we all know the rest of the story.
Why do you think that people...
Back then, Tony Yayo hadn't even jumped into the conversation yet, but Jim was already on edge. Like he knew somebody was going to challenge his loyalty one day. Because for Jim, Stack wasn't just an artist he signed. He was family. That was love, not business. Now, people online love to toss around numbers. $25,000 here, 50 grand there. But truth is, none of them know the real story. Nobody's got the full picture except the men who lived it. What's clear, though, is that Jim's still carrying that weight heavy. So when Tony Yayo finally opened his mouth and started airing out that kind of talk, Jim took it as straight-up disrespect. Fast forward to that sit-down with Memphis Bleek. Soon as Yayo's name came up, Jim snapped. No hesitation, no filter. Bleek tried to play peacekeeper, tried to calm the storm, but Jim wasn't hearing it. He shut it all the way down, making it clear he and his people ain't starving. Never have, never will. Then he hit flex mode. Talking houses, cars, lifestyle, the whole package. He made sure everyone watching knew he's living good, his team's solid, and this whole sponsor talk, in his words, straight up clown talk. It was like Jim felt he had to prove to everybody that he wasn't the one taking handouts, that he built everything himself, brick by brick. But here's the real twist. Tony Yayo never even called Jim broke. Not once. In fact, he gave Jim his props, saying, Jim's good. The real shade wasn't about Jim's pockets. It was about the people around him.
Have this misconception of what happened. Why do you think even her? Why do you think that? Where did that come from?
Nobody likes to hear the truth.
Because we were there. Bino get mad all the time. And he gets offended. And he was one of the people that called me. He was like, that's not true. They think that what they think is that Stack asked you, he told you he wanted to leave. They said that Stack told you he wanted to leave, he wanted to move, and you didn't move him out. But that's not true.
You want to hear that story? All right, for Stacks and them, I was about to buy Stacks, the kid Max and Melly, a whole brownstone in New Jersey. None of them wanted to leave the hood. And I was not about to waste my money. And I was what I offered them. I went shopping for the shit and all that type of shit.
Yeah, we remember that, right, Bass? We remember that. Shout out to Bass. I remember the conversation.
And I'm like, yo, you bugging. You want to, like, you can go to the hood every day, but you're going to be living in Jersey. Like, you're going to be living.
Yayo took aim at Jim's team, saying they didn't look like they were winning. That's where the hit landed. Not at Jim directly, but at the ones standing behind him. He basically said, yeah, Jim's solid, but his people, they don't look like they're eating, and that right there, that's the kind of jab that cuts deeper than money talk. It questions your leadership, your loyalty, and your whole image. Now, if Jim had kept his cool and stayed on that angle, defending his crew, speaking on how his squad really moves behind the scenes, he could have flipped the entire convo in his favor. He could have come off like the boss who rides for his people. But Jim wasn't hearing none of that. You could see it in his face. His pride kicked in instantly. To Jim, Yayo wasn't just throwing casual shots, he was trying to clown him in front of the entire world. And if there's one thing Jim Jones don't play about, it's his name and his circle. That's sacred to him.
Better than, like, you heard, and you don't have to worry about paying for no rent or nothing like that. I'm just trying to get you niggas out the hood. Melly too. Melly ended up getting shot, right? Like none of these would listen, and everything that happened that you know can happen in the hood end up happening and shit like that. You know what I mean? But everything to try to protect them for what I know could have happened to them, I tried. You heard? From getting all of his cars to getting all these, everything. You can imagine everything. Private jets, Miami, hundreds of thousands in one weekend, 2 tour buses, Atlanta, like, cannot front on how I had my boys moving. And I'm only talking about this because you was there, and you and Stacks were best friends, or Bino, a couple others and like that. Other than I don't even talk to people about Stacks and what went on, but we was sending it out. It was not on our level when we was moving.
So when the shade got personal, Jim lost all chill. He snapped, loud and clear for everybody to hear. He shouted, "Ain't nobody feeding me! I built this from the ground up." He wanted to make it crystal clear. He ain't leeching off Jay-Z, 50 Cent, or anybody. He's self-made, certified, and he wanted that respected. No debate, no downplay. But instead of letting that statement breathe, letting it land like a mic drop, Jim turned up the volume even more. He took it there. That's when the real smoke rolled in. He aimed his fire straight at Yayo, and this time, there was no holding back. Jim didn't hold back. He straight up said Tony Yayo's been hiding behind 50 Cent, always lurking in the shadows like a backup dancer wearing a G-Unit uniform. The second he dropped that line, the whole vibe flipped on its head. You could feel the energy in the room shift. Eyes widened, jaws dropped, and that air got heavy. What started out as a chill podcast moment instantly turned into pure, unfiltered drama. Bleek tried to calm it down, tried to steer things back to normal, but Jim? He was too far gone. By that point, this wasn't even about Tony Yayo anymore. It was years of tension exploding all at once. All the quiet comparisons, the side jabs, the talk about not taking care of your people. It all came pouring out like a flood. Jim had been holding his tongue for way too long, and once that switch flipped, he let everything fly. He made it crystal clear. He ain't backing down for nobody. Not Yayo, not 50, not a single soul in the game. Jim stayed in full flex mode, talking cars, cash, and success. Like he had to remind everyone watching that he's still that dude. But when you look past all the bragging, you could tell this wasn't about flexing or proving status. This was about respect, about pride, about feeling overlooked and underestimated for way too long. And Yayo? He didn't backpedal, not even a little. No screaming match, no ranting online, no long essays. Just one savage move that said it all. He went silent and dropped a single repost. No caption, no emoji, just a bold picture of Jim's longtime rival, Max B. And that one post, it blew the entire internet up. Fans lost it. That one subtle shot hit harder than any diss track could. Suddenly, the internet split right down the middle. Some fans said Jim was right. He had every reason to stand 10 toes down, defending his name, his crew, and his legacy. Others, though, they think Yayo just said what everyone else has been too scared to say, and Jim cracked under the pressure when the truth got too close. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Whose side are you on? Are you rolling with Team Jim Jones or Team Tony Yayo? Drop your take in the comments below. Let it be known loud and clear. And before you bounce, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay locked in.